All right,
What is
we're
up?
back. Episode 19. Dude, that's actually every time I go in to
It's almost a half year.
load up a studio or whatever, open up the studio so we can record. I like check
Mhm.
whatever the previous episode number was, and I'm always like surprised. I'm like, wow, look at us, man. Episode 19. That next one, episode 20.
Does it say in your top left corner? Like for me, it always says what the number we're on in the top left.
Yeah. My screen looks different than yours.
Damn.
But yeah, 19 episodes, 4-game win streak. Bears took down another one against the Saints. We'll cover that. And then we got a big game coming up against the Ravens, which could be
It's kind of the prove it game.
Yeah, kind of the prove it game. The Ravens obviously 1-5, but are 6.5 point favorites going into this game. So
1-5, but what? They're 1-1 with Lamar.
Maybe 1-2. I think they're 1-3.
One of those
Lamar.
losses
He played
one?
up until that Chiefs game, and that's where he got hurt. Just hasn't played since.
Roaded, yeah.
So
cool.
We'll start with the Saints game. Bears won 26-14.
You would assume it was 26-25 or something like that.
Yeah,
we won by more than a point.
After back-to-back 1-point wins, coming down to game-winning field goal attempts, Bears took down a comfortable win. I feel like there was a point where, like at the end of the first half and the start of the second half, Saints had scored on both of those drives where it was like, like we might be the Bears again. But we weren't. And we haven't been since that week 2 loss. The Bears have just
got a little bit lucky on the false start that maybe changed the course of the game a little bit. But I think we still win that game like 98 out of 100 times.
Yeah. I guess we can start with that because that's a really weird. Like I've never seen that with a center having that like so many issues. Normally, like when you see a center like having a bad game, it's because they're either snapping the ball too low or snapping the ball too high. But I've never seen it to where he's just not snapping the ball.
Or letting go of it. Yeah.
Right? If you go back to the first time it happened, they called it.
Caleb recovered this fumble, correct?
I think I think it was just a fumble and it was recovered by Caleb and we ended up just kicking or something along those lines.
This was the one that like it was a bad exchange, but the ball ended up on the turf.
Yeah. Well, there were two because there was the first one where Drew Dalman just doesn't let it go, and then I think fumbles and then Caleb gets it. I can't remember.
Well, there was the one where he literally like he started and finished the play with the ball, like it never left his hand.
Yeah,
like so he snapped it to Caleb. Caleb touched it. And then, like, he stood up with, like, the ball in his hand.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I don't know.
And that was officiated wrong. Like, they officiated it correctly the second time with it being, like, a snap infraction, 5-yard penalty, repeat down. But the first time they just called it, like, a sack or whatever, a loss of yards, and it changed it downs. And then it happened again where he, like, pump faked on the snap and then didn't really let it go. Caleb tried pulling it out of his hands, fumbled, and then we fell on it. Which would have been, that was on 4th down, would have been a turnover on downs, but again, it's a pre-snap penalty. Pre-snap penalty, and we, they officiated it correctly. That time ended up just going to 4th and 6 and kicking the field goal and going up 23-14 at that point. Really weird. Really weird.
Weird.
There were some. It definitely wasn't the cleanest game. Offensively, defensively, they were lights out. But
yeah, defensively they took like a quick nap. They took a power nap in the middle of the game, but like they were unbelievable. I mean, we'll talk about it more, but they could have like honestly had like 8 turnovers in this game. Like it was fucking unreal. They showed out. And also we'll get into it more, but I really like choosing this game to show out as the defense. It's good for the idea that this is a really strong unit. They're, defensive coordinator beating the ex-coach of the Saints who didn't have a great time there, didn't have a really enjoyable breakup from the way I understand it, right? Probably some harsh feelings on both sides there. And so, you know, a little bit of spite, a little bit of that Michael Jordan, like, you know, I took it personally, and I love to see that. So.
Yeah, defensively, probably their best game of the year. You could argue that no.
I mean, they gave up 44 rushing yards today.
Yeah, that was easily the best game of the year. I was gonna say maybe the Raiders game because we had a lot of turnovers, but we got gashed in the run game.
Dude, they had like 300 yards on the ground.
Yeah, this was great top to bottom. Spencer Rattler had the 2 touchdowns again. Yeah, the defense sort of took a nap in the I guess like the middle 8, which is like the last 4 minutes of the first 4 minutes of the second half. But outside of that, flying to the football, getting pressure, Dennis Allen's ability to scheme pressure outside of like the reality is we're just not going to get home with 4. What it seems like.
Now with Dio fucking Odengba on the field, no offense.
Yeah, and that's how it felt last year too with Eberflus, but that was sort of the scheme was kind of just send 4 and hope for the best.
And get some picks.
A lot of zone drops, play a ton of zone. Yeah. That's not at all the scheme this year. We've got like 8 guys at the line of scrimmage on third down basically every time, and you don't know what you're going to get. Sick. Kyler Gordon got home with a sack. Brisker should have had 2, but got 1 called back to a penalty, which I hated.
They didn't. Yeah. I don't even know if they showed a replay on that one either. Like whatever.
They did. He makes contact with the head, but when you're,
it was that one. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think that the roughing the quarterback penalty should be called like roughing the kicker and roughing the punter, where if you get the ball, if you make contact with the ball, you don't. There's no roughing. There's no roughing penalty involved anymore. Like, Spencer Rattler is throwing the ball's at his head. As a defender, you're trying to go for the football. If you're going to make incidental contact, why are we punishing the defense for playing the game as it's been played for 100 years? And it's not really going to be that much more dangerous. Like, I don't know. It upset me, but ball didn't lie. Bears got a pick like 3 plays later, which is great. And Sean Wright with his second of the season had a nice return afterwards. They were just flying to the football, dude. I think Al Harris, the defensive backs coach, is. I don't know if he'll be here after the season because I think he's going to.
Pretty sure he's a former Michigan man too. So,
well, you know, he was I remember him playing in the NFL because he's not that far removed.
I might be thinking of Al Borges though. Similar name, kind of. But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, if you look at where we got the sacks from, I think that's telling because I want to say we had a safety, cornerback, linebacker, and D lineman get a sack. As a quarterback, that's a nightmare, right? Especially a quarterback who's been putting the ball in harm's way. Everything seemed to work on defense. They couldn't get anything going with any consistency. And when they looked good, the Saints, like, honestly, Rattler looked really solid. Like, he made good reads and good throws, and like they weren't defensive reps that you were like, oh, that looks really bad. Like, it was, you know, credit to them. They looked pretty solid. And Olave, he's a very good receiver, caught the 2 tuds. But yeah, it really just felt like they were just stepping on his chest today or in the game. Like there's like, I guess, I don't know. Like there's 2 types of picks. You can kind of throw the pick where you get lurked or baited, right? Someone's kind of sitting over the top. You didn't see him. And then there's picks where it's just like, I think this should be open. Like, I need to throw it now. And the defense just plays better defense than the offense. And that seemed like more of the picks that we got, where it was just like, hey, you could throw this ball, but like, I'm going to run the route better than your offense. And I'm going to make a great play on the ball. Like, it was sick to see. Loved it.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Defense. Let's see. What do we got? I was going to say some stuff about Rattler. Yeah, Rattler, I'm honestly pretty surprised at how he's looked in year 2. I think they have something there.
They do. I think that he is not the 32nd. Like, he's one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. I think he's worthy of a starting spot this year, at least. You want to see more, but considering sort of the treatment he got last year, and then I guess sort of just being thrown into the fire this year with Derek Carr just retiring right before the season started.
Yeah.
You have to be like pleasantly surprised if you're a Saints fan at the way he's been playing.
Yeah, the only thing you'd be pissed off is you drafted a quarterback this draft too that who knows what he's going to play.
Yeah, hasn't played a snap. And considering that although Rattler has been solid, there are times where it's like, okay, maybe you would want to see what you have in Tyler Shaw, whether it's because the game is out of reach or because Rattler isn't playing up to par, and they haven't done that yet. So maybe Tyler Shaw just sucks and is really bad. But he also is like just he's a project. Like if there's any way to describe
he's older than Rattler, so I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see. I think if I was a Saints fan and if I was a fan of any team that drafted a quarterback in the first round, our starter would have to be playing so lights out for me to not want to see that first round talent get in there.
Well, Shaw wasn't a first round pick.
Was he a second round pick? He was like an earlier pick than he should have been. I reached on him. I think he was like 59 overall.
I think he was like fifth.
Maybe he was third round. No, I don't think he was fifth round. I think he was like the first quarterback taken.
Oh shit! Yeah, you are right. 40th overall.
Yeah, like that's like pretty high. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Interesting vibe down there in New Orleans, where like they seem to have kind of an okay culture. Their like team just sucks and has been screwed by the cap for the last 5 years, and it's like finally kind of catching up to them, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would still have some fun watching football games if I was the Saints versus like the Jets or the Raiders or
the Dolphins.
A couple other teams. The Dolphins, yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I kind of like Rattler. And also, I didn't even realize the storyline until like after the fact, but Caleb took over for Rattler at Oklahoma.
In the Red River rivalry game.
The Red River rivalry game versus Texas at the Texas State Fair, where Caleb made one of maybe it was against Kansas, but you know the play where he took the ball out of the guy's hand on fourth down
against Kansas, on fourth
down. Yeah,
it's
against a good team. But Caleb's like one of his best games of his entire career was that Oklahoma Texas game. Like he came in, they were down 3 scores. He just turned it around. And the entire team was juiced, and then they went and won the game. He made one of the craziest throws I've ever seen where it wasn't like the guy was wide open. Like he was pretty covered, and it was kind of a 50-50 ball. But he throws a ball like off his back foot, running the opposite way to a spot where only his receiver can catch it. Makes an incredible catch for a touchdown. It was like the play that either tied or took the lead in that game. And that was like the Stars born moment for Caleb. It was really, really cool to watch that. I remember like Rattler being like almost Trevor Lawrence level hyped out of high school. Like he was super, super, super hyped as the next Mahomes, this off platform stuff. Right. And then this was like his first real game. He hadn't looked good in the 2 or 3 games they'd played before this, Oklahoma. And then they put in this Caleb Williams kid who I hadn't heard of really. I mean, he was a high recruit ish, but like I didn't really know his name. And he literally became like a, overnight celebrity, household name. And the thing that I'll never forget about that is like, if you remember, Rattler had at some point like a pretty like a hit piece come out about him, I guess.
You're talking about the clip of him in high school where he's like just shitting on his teammates, and he's like,
and there's
literally
like
the last guy you'd want to play for.
Right. And like, so you do have to consider that because like, what I'm saying is that when Caleb came into that game, the entire team reacted and was juiced. Wow, that's fucking crazy. That's funny. And so like Caleb kind of wore those same comparisons as like bad teammate or not a great leader or whatever. And it's like, I don't know, man. I would have to disagree with you. Is this like new?
No,
I like this a lot.
I just haven't put it on there in a while.
That's pretty good. Shout out to Jacob Infante, Infante. I don't know how to say it, but you know who I'm talking about, Chicago Bears. Because he went live after, I think, Monday Night Football 2 weeks ago, and he's a StreamYard, so shout out to him.
Nice. Okay, maybe we'll get him to hop in on a.
Maybe we'll get him to hop in the call.
Yeah. So more on Rattler. So the Bears defense obviously looked very good, and they have looked good for the past 4 weeks. Getting to the quarterback at a rate that like is nothing to really complain about, and turning the ball over.
A lot.
Probably getting more turnovers than like it's not really. It doesn't seem like it's a sustainable amount. Like we're leading the league in turnovers right now.
Here's what I'll say to that. Here's getting turnovers. Maybe it's not a sustainable amount, right? But two things. One, we've had multiple balls hit our hands that we don't catch, and it seems like we're in a lot of good spots to cause interceptions and turnovers, right? But two, and more importantly, it's kind of one of those like graphs where like the plane comes back with the bullet holes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, yes, teams might turn the ball over less against the Bears in the future, but is that because the Bears are turning the ball over less, or is it because the teams are reacting their game plans to not put the ball in harm's way as much, right? So there's that to consider as well. Like we causing 16 turnovers, the next offense we play, right, which is the Ravens, they're going to know that. And while they obviously trust their fucking quarterback, he's an MVP, they're going to scheme differently than if they were playing a team that couldn't pick the ball off, right? So we're going to get little micro advantages that you probably couldn't tell unless you were in the, offensive player staff meeting for the Ravens, but they'll be there. They will be there.
Yeah. But I was going to say, I am glad that against these bad quarterbacks, against these guys who are turning the ball over at a high amount, Geno Smith, Spencer Rattler, like we're capitalizing. Like you're getting the amount of turnovers that you should against these guys. Yeah. It might not continue against the guys who are less likely to turn the ball over. Like I can't imagine we have a similar game. With Lamar Jackson at quarterback, we'll see if he
just
plays.
Stop throwing. Yeah,
we'll see if he plays. He still hasn't practiced, but Monday is typically not really a padded practice. We'll find out more tomorrow on Wednesday whether or not it looks like he's going to play. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, then we're probably not going to see Lamar, which is huge. For the stretch of games that we're in right now. But
also the division that they're in, if they don't play Lamar this week, they're basically punting on the season or hoping for a miracle against us. You know what I mean? Not that not to get too high on our own supply, but like if they don't play Lamar, we would be favored in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, they're 1-6, and then what do you do from there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the only thing they have going for them is that their division is very weak, and that the Steelers, while they are honestly the whole conference is weak. Like the AFC is much worse than the NFC. The NFC is a gauntlet right now. So I think Lamar not playing this week isn't like the worst thing for them. Obviously, you want him back coming out of the bye. It's sort of like your opportunity as a team to fix the mistakes you've been making in the first 6 weeks. I certainly can't remember a time where the Ravens had this bad of a start since I've been watching football.
No.
So this is a big week for them. I have to imagine that Lamar is going to play.
I know
it's more
that's
so a matter
the Bears
of
are practicing for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely more so a matter of how much will that injury impact Lamar Jackson and the way that he plays football. Hamstring injuries are not easy to play on. And if he's rushed back in any sense, there's a high risk for re-injury. And you're just not going to get like the full dynamics that is, Lamar Jackson. So
Agreed.
I'm never like you never hope for injuries, but the injury did already happen, and it's more so you just hope he's not playing or just doesn't play as well because of it.
Sure.
We'll see. It's going to be really, it'll be interesting. I want to talk more about the Ravens game as its own thing, because I feel like there's still more to be said about the Bears.
There's a lot to be said about the Saints. We haven't even touched on the offense really, other than the weird snap exchange. Also, about the snap exchange, the one thing I didn't love about it is usually when you see an under center snap get fumbled, there's a mandatory TV cut the next time that like that team returns to the sideline of the quarterback in the center, like dry repping the snap exchange like 10 times. Like that's a
Yeah,
mandatory
yeah,
TV cut.
yeah.
And we didn't get that. So I don't know.
And then it happened
I don't know.
again.
Yeah, right. And maybe Drew Dahlman is like listening to the media a little bit too much. Thinks Caleb's trying to get like handsy with him. And it's like, no, dude, he's playing quarterback. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Don't want to out him as a bigoted center, but I wouldn't be shocked.
That's the theory. I don't hate
theory.
it. I think considering how weird of a like play sequence it is, it's not that far out of the realm of possibilities. Speaking of weird play sequences, I want to really quickly talk about the Monday night game. Did you watch any of the Texans Seahawks game?
I fell asleep, but yeah, I did.
Sam
Darnold also officially isn't bad anymore, which is sad for me because I really still thought he was bad. He's officially
he's pretty good.
Okay. No, he's not really good.
Dude, he is playing better football than he was last year and is playing like a top 10 quarterback this season. But anyways, two really weird things happened in the Seahawks Texans game. One of them not so weird has just happened recently. But the first thing, I don't know if you caught it, but it was in the first half. CJ Stroud drops back to pass, falls under pressure, throws the ball backwards. It was like close to being forwards. Couldn't really tell. Like they had to review it. Found out that it was backwards. Was recovered by the Seahawks. Seahawks run it back for a touchdown. The ball is stripped from the Seahawks player and recovered by the Texans in the end zone. At first, they had called it a touchdown for Seahawks. Then they called it an incomplete pass. Then they reviewed it and found out that it was a fumble recovered by the Seahawks, and that he fumbled short of the goal line, and it was recovered by the Texans, which would have given the Texans a touchback and a 1st and 10 on the 20. Right. But there was a pre-snap penalty.
Oh my God, that's so ridiculous. There's no way.
The Seahawks just accepted the penalty, and it was just like that play never happened.
They accepted the penalty?
They accepted the penalty because it would have been like 3rd and 15 at the 20 rather than 1st and 10, fresh set of downs at the 20.
I mean, you got to assume if it was like that's a pretty like if you're ever going to decline a penalty. I mean, if it's 1st or 2nd down there, they probably decline it, right? 2nd and 15 or 1st and 10, but a 60-yard punt.
No. How
far was
the Texans were like on their own 20 anyways. Like they were.
Then it would
they were close. They were close to their own end zone, anyways. But yeah, it was one of the cooler sequences I'd ever seen.
That's how did they? So was there a pre-snap penalty the whole time?
Yes, yeah, but they didn't really consider it to be in play because it was either like an incomplete pass, which would have led to like 4th down, or it was a fumble for a touchdown, which obviously you're going to decline it. But
tough, yeah.
Fumble and then another fumble recovered by the Texans for a touchback, which gives you a 1st down. Then you accept the penalty. You take 3rd and 19, whatever, and you just get a stop. It was very cool. It was one of those moments where you're like, nice. There was another.
It's like a baseball moment.
Yeah, there was another play in the Sunday morning game, Jaguars Rams, which I didn't even see. I was like driving into work listening to the game, and on pass interference penalty, there was also a face mask. And if you pull on someone's face mask, like as part of your pass interference, the penalties stack. So not only is it a spot foul, but it's a 15-yard penalty from the spot, which I did not know.
Interesting.
So I saw 2 cool officiating moments this weekend. And then back to the second weird thing that happened in the Seahawks-Texans game.
Kickoff?
Yep, kickoff. If we go back to week 1, Bears-Vikings. Bears score a late touchdown. Stop licking me, Piqua. Bears score a late touchdown to make it 1 possession. They have 1 timeout and about 2 minutes, 4 seconds remaining on the clock. And they're set to kick off. If you kick it out of bounds, if you tap it off the tee, you do anything except allow them a return. They get the ball on the 40, no clock runs, and you basically get an extra timeout with a 2-minute warning. Bears tried kicking out of the back of the end zone, couldn't. Vikings return it. Clock runs under 2 minutes. You lose the timeout. Bears got the ball with like 9 seconds left. The same, you'd think that after an entire year last year and a game into this year of the Bears teaching other teams new ways to lose, that you would have learned from it.
Someone be taking notes.
The Texans scored a touchdown late in the game last night to bring it within 1 score with just over 2 minutes and 1 timeout on the clock, and didn't go for the onside, which you could have done because if you allow a timeout, the game's over anyways. Didn't go for the onside, elected to kick, and just basically did a normal kickoff. It didn't even look like they were trying to kick it out at the back of the end zone. Again, literally all you have to do is just kick it off of the tee. It doesn't have to travel anywhere. Like if you just make contact with your foot, flag is thrown.
You could probably like ask the ref. You could probably just be like, ref,
you probably could. Yes, you probably could just say we don't want to kick. Can you just give it to them on the 40? And that would happen. And
like I wouldn't see any like why would we waste the time anyway? But yeah, shout out to the Texans for also being stupid, but being more stupid because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Fool me ain't gonna get fooled again. Yeah.
So it was nice to see another team. Yeah, you know what? I'll just say it. It was nice. It was nice to see another team lose in a stupid fashion that the Bears normally do. And I say that
especially when the Bears won.
Especially when the Bears won. Hopefully
we need to pass the buck on to someone. Yeah.
Yeah, the Texans aren't a bad team to take the crown. They fit the bill.
A little bit. They've been kind of successful for a newish franchise, but they still had the Carr brothers. They still had Matt Schaub. They've had some ugly years.
Deshaun Watson.
Osweiler. They paid Osweiler so much money.
Yeah, Osweiler a lot of money. You know how tall
Osweiler is?
You know how tall Osweiler is?
Same height as LaMelo Ball.
6'8".
Yep.
It's
crazy.
It's pretty creative. That's why people listen to this podcast.
Yep. Best 6'7" references on the internet right now. And it's not an easy stat to achieve. It's not an easy status to achieve.
Yeah, people act like the 6'7" joke is easy to make.
No.
They're missing the point.
Y'all ain't get it. Y'all ain't get it for real.
But yeah, so those were some interesting stuff from the games this weekend. I'll try to think if I saw anything else crazy. But Bears offense. You want to tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, what you saw?
Yeah, I'll save one thought for after this, but the big thing that I'm happy about, and I think the most fan base is happy about, is the run game, right? And the fact that Ben Johnson has been able to emulate the Chicago culture and kind of get like the je ne sais quoi of the Bears football back better, she agrees, than any coach since Lovey is awesome. Like we're seeing it 6 games in that like we're running the football, we're turning teams over on defense, and we're really just establishing Chicago Bears fucking football. So that's sick. An on guy looks like a dude.
I haven't even been listening. I wasn't expecting her to bark.
She barked right into the mic. That was pretty sick. DeAndre Swift, no longer on the trade block after he's done it 2 weeks in a row. He's been really good. But yeah, compared to like a guy like Eberflus, you would assume that he would be able to get like the Chicago Bears like fucking MO, like their like culture reestablished. But no, there's Ben Johnson, the offensive guru guy. Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best game. There's a lot of like fixable mistakes, I thought. But overall, they played good enough to win. And when you run the ball like that, you can control a game. Like they controlled the clock. They were playing on their terms. Even when they punted, it was like, like very comfortable punts, I guess you could say. Maybe we had 1 3 and out the entire game, and it was the first drive of the game.
I don't know. I don't remember. We do find ourselves in scoring positions pretty frequently. I want to say between
they're
like
crossing the 50 all the
the
time.
past 3 weeks, like we're scoring a lot of field goals, which like isn't ideal. Like you want to see us start to convert those into touchdowns, but yeah, we are crossing the 50 a ton. Whether by
scoring 21 points at least.
Yep, yeah, only team in the NFL to score 21 plus in every game. As much as Caleb had a bad game, almost for 2 weeks in a row now, it hasn't been super productive through the air. We are finding out ways to win. Like we're finding out that we can win in other ways. Not so much like win the football game, but just like win reps. And that you can like we're starting to find that run game. I want to say I saw a stat that in weeks 1 and 2 we were last in the NFL in yards before contact per carry. In the last 4 weeks, we've been number 2 in the NFL in yards before contact per carry. So the run blocking
number 1
obviously
in the last 2 weeks
has been was an issue. It's not an easy scheme to execute. So to see that they're doing it and they're doing it at a high level and it's working against teams that have been good run defenses, like the Saints have a good run defense.
Washington had the best run defense.
Yeah, to see that it's working against these teams is great. My issue with the passing game, but there's also like a silver lining, is that it's starting to feel like teams kind of have the book on Caleb Williams, that
you think so?
Well, did you see the stat about him against the blitz
versus the blitz? Yeah,
versus not against the blitz.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is you can't blitz Caleb Williams. He is one of, if not the best QB in the NFL against the blitz. Like it's insane.
Stafford,
he'll extend the play. He'll find someone. Like if the numbers are there, he's gonna tear you up. But when you do not blitz, when you drop 7, drop 8 in the coverage, he becomes a lot more hesitant to throw the ball. We saw a ton of that, like, playmaking ability within the pocket.
Escapability.
The escapability, on Sunday. But
it led to like one completion, maybe.
Yeah, it just didn't turn into anything, which was the problem. And he hasn't really been good enough in the quick game to kind of punish DBs or sort of draw them in to that quick game, so that when you extend plays, stuff opens up later on.
Sure.
You can sort of play with a cushion as a defensive back against Caleb when you're dropping into coverage, because you're not really too worried about him firing off the quick pass. So my concern is that defenses are starting to figure out what Caleb's weaknesses are and preying on them. However, I think that is also playing a part in what is opening up the run game and has allowed us to run for 200 plus yards in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, it was just about to make that point too. And like a run game is just as good as a short pass game in terms of setting up the medium, the long pass game,
Absolutely. If you're getting down the field, it doesn't really matter how you do it. Sure, there are going to be situations where you're going to need to rely on the pass. But you saw it at the end of the game last week against Washington. We ran the ball probably 7 out of 8 plays. There was one throw to Colson Loveland on a 3rd down that we converted. Other than that, we pounded the rock every time, chewed the clock. And
on a 4th down or a 3rd down?
Kicked the game-winning field goal. It was, I want to say it was a 3rd.
Okay. But, I mean, okay, has Caleb looked amazing in the passing game? No. But a few things I wanted to know. One, on those plays where it breaks down, the escapability plays, like those will eventually come. The team looks a little bit kind of confused on those, and like they don't know exactly how to like help their quarterback. And that's a generous kind of way to look at it, because honestly, DJ Moore's effort on a lot of those reps is like really questionable, and Zacchaeus kind of just looks lost. I will say though, Rome is like almost always the guy he's throwing to when the play breaks down. And they seem to have that chemistry there. I assume that will kind of work with Luther too once he gets in there, or I'd hope. But yeah, I think like the escapability plays, people should be getting open on those. I don't know how much blame I'm putting on Caleb for that. He's probably missed reads earlier in those plays before they broke down, but once it actually breaks down, I like he's literally one of 3 guys in the NFL that I'd want in that situation. The other 2 have won MVPs. The thing about the interception that he threw, I thought it was bad. So here's the thing. It was bad. I thought it was maybe my favorite play of the day from Caleb, because here's why. Last year, that throw, he doesn't make that throw, right? Because it's
high
drilled over and over again. 200, right?
Yep. Yeah. 2 touchdowns.
Don't throw that ball. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't make that throw, right? And I think this interception was the first one I've seen in a very long time from him. Like, he's had fuck it throws where like a play breaks down, he makes a horrible throw. But like, this was like, he read it correctly, in my opinion, and made a bad throw that was a little bit late. The throw was there. The window was, he was NFL open, right?
I have the throw. I haven't watched like any.
It was high and inside
on the replays. It's high and inside. It's late, and he stares it down the whole time. It's a bad rep. Like, maybe it's the right read and it's late, but it's a really bad rep.
It was the right read, and I think that he's just still a little bit hesitant, but he is showing me signs of a guy that is getting back to the quarterback that he knows how to play, like the guy that he knows how to be. And if he rips that throw 10 times, maybe it's picked off 6 or 7 times. But once he kind of gets that, once he figures out the timing there and can be more confident in a throw like that, that's like if he would have completed that ball, it would have been the rep that we were like, holy fuck, look at this play. That's my point. And do you think he's that guy? Do you not think he's that guy? I guess that's on everybody else, but I do think he is that guy that can make that throw on time accurately. And that is yet to come, but it will come. And throwing the interception was the first step, because now he has the mental rep of, okay, if I miss this high and inside, it's getting picked off. Let's make a better throw. That's the way I see it. It's optimistic, but I think there's truth to it.
No, there's definitely truth. As my sophomore year pre-calc teacher, Miss Trent, would say,
shout out Miss Trent.
You learn twice as fast by making mistakes, something like that.
That's a great quote.
But it's something like that. Something along those lines. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. That's actually my favorite quote. So yeah, I think Caleb will have a good note of the rep. So the play, the escapability, the play extension stuff really bugs me. Not from Caleb's standpoint, but from the wide receiver standpoint. Caleb has like the highest time to throw, or the second highest time to throw in the league. And it's not because he's just not throwing. It's because he can extend plays for like 10 seconds. If you're a wide receiver, you know how hard it is to cover a wide receiver as a defensive back
doesn't have to do shit.
For 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Let alone covering someone for 10.
Mm-hmm.
There should be someone open on damn near every play. You don't see any of these guys running to space or having any clue what to do except for Rome. And I feel like Rome probably has a better idea than anyone. One, because he was brought in with Caleb, but 2, because he like played in the Pac-12, or it was still the Pac-12 at the time, right?
Yep. Caleb left when it was the last year.
Yeah. Like played in the Pac-12, played against Caleb, played with Penix, who like wasn't as mobile, but sort of at times extended plays, and sort of has a better understanding of what that play style is like.
And honestly, he's just hungry. He looks hungrier.
I feel like Luther will have a good sense of that. That
he had the best offensive rep of the day from a receiver, in my opinion.
Which one was that?
It was like his only catch, but like, dude, he looks
his change of direction
fast out of that break. Oh my God, he looks so fast. Like, and I think part of it too is like Zacchaeus is like, if we were sprinting, I think Zacchaeus would probably be like first, second, third on the team in like 100-meter dash, but like his change of direction is just not elite. Like compared to a guy like Burden, I guess. And so like just seeing him run that versus who it would usually be 14, like it looked a lot different. And like that was a really exciting thing to see, because he, like, not only is he taking advantage of the opportunity he's getting, which is, a good sign in itself, but he looks like the guy that was projected to be a top 5 pick after his freshman year of college. So that's really, really good to see.
Yeah, Luther Burden right now leads the Bears in basically every single advanced wide receiver metric.
Really?
Like yards per route run,
separation and stuff.
Maybe not. I actually don't know about separation, but I saw something. He leads the Bears in a lot of advanced metrics though, but he only has played 27% of offensive snaps. And Olamide is sitting at like 51 or 53%. So he's playing twice as much. 41.
Yeah, we're gonna have 41.
Twice as much as Luther Burden is. But Luther has been far more effective. Luther seems like more of the home run guy. And
I mean, Ben Johnson has had like his hands on that, like that flea flicker play is probably the one that like was most like, okay, this is my play. We're running it this fucking way, right? And he can choose any receiver he wants to put in that position to catch the ball, or at least on the over the top route. And he put Luther there. So yeah, that tells you everything you need to know, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think Olamide is like the safety blanket. Luther is
the Mike Glennon guy. He's the Mike Glennon.
Yeah. Luther's the home run guy, and Kyle is the Manun guy.
There you go. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. But yeah, I mean, DJ Moore, he is close to becoming the second best DJ Moore in Bears history. I'll just say that. No, not actually.
No, that's crazy.
I'm just kidding. But I need to see more from bro. I like him. I just like.
I thought he had a nice game. It's really just
but like I don't know if you were watching all 22.
I was not. Did you watch the plays? Well, I mean, you're a QB School Patreon
member.
So
patron. Yeah, exactly.
You actually get. I mean, you do get to see the all 22. You've probably seen a little more than me on this game. But
the DJ effort.
DJ had a solid game, but yeah, the effort. He plays the game so nonchalantly, which is like good because he doesn't seem like he gets phased by much. But it's also like you would like to see him play with a little bit more fire at times.
Yeah.
Especially with like that just seems like what the culture of the team is heading towards. And
yes,
I don't know how much.
I think he's missing the boat a little bit on the culture thing. And I also think that of anybody on this roster, he's probably been done the dirtiest by the Bears. Not pay wise, but just in terms of like he has been like he's had a very tough time with like Chicago media and stuff. I think like sitting on the bench stuff, like I don't think people were very nice to him about that. And like they took his guy out, like Justin Fields was his boy. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
Like he's had like reasons to like kind of show this, but you'd hope that he overcomes it. I'm just giving him kind of, some Benny of the D, but
no, I know what you're saying. I feel like he hasn't been shown a lot of love from Bears fans and the city. But then again, we are paying him like $120 million. You'd kind of hope that he's playing with a little bit more burst. That being said, I think he's playing good football, but like I think there's a lot more to him that we're not seeing, and it would be nice. Yeah, I want to see more. Just want to see more and more.
Yeah. He still is like the best receiver on our team in so many assets of the game or facets of the game. Especially from a receiver point of view. So it's like I'm not out on him by any means. I need to know where his head's at, because like it doesn't seem like he is the most bought in that he could be. And it's like, I don't blame you 100%, bro, but just like let me know, bro. Let me know. I don't know. We'll see on that. But yeah, I think like Manun guy, like you were saying, he is a Manun guy. He's a guy. He's a 7th round pick, but he's a guy. Was he the pick we ended up getting back for Khalil Herbert?
I got a 7th for that. I could not tell you, but maybe. I don't remember where that.
Would you consider that an upgrade? I would.
Not yet. No. Khalil Herbert, like dude, he was really good. He was really efficient. Like his numbers were crazy. That year where the Bears ran for like 2,000 yards, he was averaging like 5 or 6 yards to carry. So I like a lot from what I've seen out of Monangai. He runs really hard, not an easy guy to bring down, pass blocks well, good ball security. Absolutely is exceeding my expectations of a 7th round pick, which is nice. Anytime you have your 7th round pick, averaging 5 yards to carry, finding the end zone, and contributing to the amount that he is, you can't be mad about that.
And I'm pretty sure he hit
oh, dude, it's the best seller.
I'm pretty sure Monangai hit it. So he's ingrained in the culture. Like the boys love him.
You want to explain the for the audio listeners,
for the audience,
of which I think we might have.
I'm doing a Masonic hand symbol. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, it's like Kobe Bryant calling for an ISO, right? He has a hand symbol where he like puts his thumbs together and his pointer fingers together, and then is like kind of flexes out his middle fingers and just kind of shoes off everybody else, right? And there's a great clip of LeBron with Team USA, and he's kind of like ham it up a little bit. He's like, "Y'all see this?" And then he does like the Kobe thing. He's like, "That means get the fuck out of the way." And it's like, yeah, Kobe was that dude. Pretty tough. Shout out Kobe. But yeah, that's awesome. That's something that like you see in baseball more than football, like a team celebration for something that isn't like, like a touchdown. Like a lot of MLB teams have double celebrations or like extra base hit celebrations. Most NFL guys have like personalized first down celebrations. Like Nico Collins has his, CeeDee Lamb has his, Baker kind of just points really aggressively, but team wide, I love that. That's like one of my favorite things.
It's so tough too. It's so tough. You're just calling an ISO.
You need to know who came up with that. Whoever breaks that story, that'll be a viral clip. So
I'm surprised we haven't seen a like the Lions noticer or whatever. Like those accounts of like the Bears
with like the Masonic,
with the Masonic hands
spreading around the energy. Yeah. That's a great clip.
Like the way they like hold their hands or some shit. I don't even know.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time before one of those pops up. Like it's going to come across our feed just because we talked about it.
100%. Phone's listening right now.
But yeah, super super tough Sally. What else?
And it's the culture.
It's the culture. Yeah.
Tremaine played
Tremaine
to his
has been lights out. Yeah.
He's like low-key playing above his salary at this point, which I never thought I'd say. But
yeah, he's playing better than Roquan. Roquan's having dude. Have you seen what Ravens fans are saying about Roquan Smith? They call they call him Rapequan Smith.
Whoa.
Don't look up what bro was doing in South Africa. Don't
really
look up.
Oh, I think I have heard this. This was like before he was with the Bears, right?
This was when there were allegations when he was with Chicago, but the name it's coming back to him now that he's not.
I kind of remember that
playing good football in Baltimore. They really don't like
for you to
really bad. And he also looks fat.
He does look kind of fat. That's what I was gonna say. Is he looks slow, but for you to have your character issues pointed out in Baltimore, they have to be pretty bad because they have a laundry list of motherfuckers with literal like rap sheets. So
yeah,
that's crazy. I did not know that.
But yeah, Roquan's playing like the worst football of his career. That the Ravens defense. It's a good segue to the Ravens. Well, I mean, we can continue talking about Tremaine. He's playing excellent. Leads the league among linebackers and interceptions. Kevin Byard, PCA 2.0, center fielding for the Bears. Leads the league in interceptions or is tied. So yeah, lights out from those guys. Love to see it. Quick injury update. Tyreek Stevenson is day-to-day with a shoulder injury. Cole Kmet is week-to-week with a back injury.
He won't be fine.
According to my on the field source, Cole Kmet was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So.
But Colston Loveland looked really good
Colston
on that one route.
Breakout. Colston Loveland breakout.
It's
yeah,
like, dude, it's gonna happen. He also had a nice block. It's hard to not like compare his career directly to Warren, but like obviously Warren's played really, really well so far. I would be putting a lot of stock into Loveland right now if I was a speculator of the NFL. I think that like Luther will pop off very soon. I don't know how long it's going to take for Loveland. Could be very soon, but I think when he starts to like hit his stride, he's going to be like the guy to take the torch at tight end. Maybe Warren's with him like right there in lockstep, but like, dude, he's a fucking.
Can I say some?
Yeah.
I still like. I think Loveland is good.
I think he's a specimen.
I think he'll get better. I think he was absolutely the wrong pick at 9, and Tyler Warren is significantly better. I
think it's too early to tell, but I mean, I can't disagree with that take.
Okay. I understand the scheme thing with what Ben Johnson was trying to build and how Loveland, I guess, like fit that better from a prospect standpoint. I mean, we have the benefit of hindsight, so like obviously Loveland or Warren is outperforming him by a ton. But when you go back to like pre-draft and you saw the stuff, and you go back to college, even you saw the shit that Tyler Warren was doing. Not even just as a tight end, but lining up in the slot, lining up out wide, lining up at running back, at fullback, at quarterback, center, at long snapper, and then running routes and catching touchdowns. Like, I just never understood why that was never like the selling point that it was for Ben Johnson and the Bears, considering the gimmicky stuff that Ben Johnson likes to get up to.
It's true.
I mean, when the Bears drafted Colston Loveland, like put out a couple tweets about this being a bad pick and got berated on Twitter for it. And I deleted the tweets eventually because I was like, whatever. No, first off, it was a job. This was not my account. So I was like, I don't want the sleeper Bears reputation being like, being bad.
You didn't want to sow discourse.
It was a company. It was for the betterment of the company. I deleted the tweets, but I think about them now, and I'm like, I feel absolutely just in my pick that Tyler.
Yeah, no, I think that you made a fair point. I just think that like Tyler Warren is a better football player, but Colston Loveland is a better tight end, and that will eventually show. I'm biased. I'm a Michigan guy, but like
football players,
Tyler Warren.
I don't think that being a better tight end of like all the positions to be better at, I think like being a better football player is way more valuable than being just a better tight end. I think that honestly applies for a lot of positions outside of like corner, because I think like Travis Hunter is a better football player than he is a corner, but like if you're a better corner, like that's probably more valuable.
Sure.
But for a lot of positions, I think being a better football player is more important. And I think Tyler Warren is just like much better.
I don't, but we'll see. It's too early to tell. It's too early to tell at the end of the day.
Tyler Warren is on pace to break like every rookie tight end record. He's already broken one for touchdowns. I don't think he would be doing that with the Bears, but I think like the promise of that would be more telling.
I mean, I just still think that Loveland is faster, quicker, runs way better routes. And honestly, he's just cooler and swaggier. So we'll see. But it's you're gonna be eating crow in about 12 weeks when he pops off.
I hope so. But I still think that Tyler Warren is probably better.
He's been better so far.
Tyler Warren is like George Kittle.
Yeah, I think he's much worse, but I know what you're saying. I do know what you're saying.
And then Loveland is like a Laporta Hawkinson type beat. But like everyone and their mother is taking George Kittle over Laporta or Hawkinson, except for Ben Johnson, I guess.
Ben Johnson. I was just about to say, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that I still think it's early, but I mean, I'm not gonna say Warren's bad. He's been great. I just don't know.
It's not that Colston Loveland's bad. I just think Warren is much better, and I think Warren is so much better to the point where like picking a guy because he was a scheme fit is irrelevant, and it's just a mistake at this point.
I mean, I think honestly, going tight end there is more questionable than anything. But like, if you were gonna question that pick, I think that you got to go with your guy, right? I mean, they were scouted right next to each other. Like, I don't think that. Like, we'll see how they turn out, but I don't think that like it's gonna be very lopsided in like 4 or 5 years, we'll say. But I think like it was a weird position to have in the draft for the needs that you had. If you weren't going to move up and get a running back, then like there you go. It didn't work though. I knew you were cooking something.
It was actually the second time I did it.
But yeah, I mean like we'll have to wait and see on Colston Loveland. But I think that like traits wise, he has traits that no other tight end in the NFL has. He can run routes. He can run certain routes better than any tight end can. Maybe Brock Bowers is the only one.
He's got a good route tree. I agree, but I don't know. I think
unbelievable route tree, great hands.
A lot.
He just hasn't really been used yet. We'll see. Who's the Colts backup tight end?
That's a good point. I don't know.
It's like Eric Ebron, to my knowledge, and he hasn't played football in 4 years. But like, you know, so we'll see. But I think Colston looked like that one catch was sick. Looked fast, high point of the ball, got his feet down in bounds. Who else do I want to highlight? Who had a great game? Ullman actually had a pretty sick game other than the bad snaps. Like he actually looked so
outside
good.
Of the snaps, he was fine. He was pretty good. Joe Tooney is like probably still the best guard in the NFL, like 10 years running.
Yep, easily. Darnell Wright looked a little bit iffy. Also, Chase Young is like good. I didn't think Chase Young was good. Chase Young looked really good.
He's been around. Never like number 2 overall good, but
it looks like he is, like in terms of like pre-snap.
Yes,
his first 2 steps are good enough, but then after that, I don't know. But yeah, he's a fucking predator.
Should we? I feel like I think we can go into some predictions for this week, and we'll give a with Lamar, without Lamar prediction.
Sure.
Okay. With Lamar prediction.
You want me to go first?
Yeah. What do you got?
Playing in Baltimore with Lamar, he'll be back. Stadium will be juiced. Throw the record away. That's the first thing I'll say. They're not going to be playing like a 1-5 team. This will be a rejuvenated team. I think the Ravens will hold a lead in the fourth quarter of this game if Lamar plays. I think we're going to see, for the first time in a long time, in a big game at least, we're going to see our offense have to execute a touchdown drive to win the game.
We did that against the Raiders.
Yeah, but then we are, like, okay, we could make that argument, but it was a little bit different. It was a little bit different.
Pretty good argument.
It was a little bit different. This is going to be like a touchdown drive with like you're down by 10 with like 8 minutes to go. You need to score and get the ball back, and then you get the ball back, and you're down 4, and you need to score a touchdown, something like that. That's what I'm seeing, right?
It's like kind of almost like what we did against the Commanders, except we were down 9.
Yeah, but then we needed a field goal to win, so it's different.
I guess, but we probably could have gotten the touchdown if we wanted to. We were driving pretty well.
Close. But basically, we're not going to get it, and it's going to make the fans really mad. That's my take. But it'll set the first domino off of the Caleb Williams explosion. because he needs to have like a game where like it comes down to him being Superman and he doesn't have a finger to point. And I think that's this game.
I think. Well, what's your final score prediction?
27-23, Ravens.
Okay. I think with Lamar, man, it's really. I feel like every week I really haven't had trouble picking the Bears to be bad. You know what I mean? Like I thought against the Saints it was kind of a trappy game, so we wouldn't look like spectacular, but we'd win. Also, now that I think about it, I think my score prediction was one of our score predictions was very close last week for the Saints game.
I think I said like 31-9.
Might have to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hadn't really had a lot of trouble picking against the Bears because every week we had like something that looked bad. You know what I mean? But going into this week, I think we match up really, really well against the Ravens. The biggest thing is gonna be Lamar. And whether or not he's 100%, considering he didn't practice Monday, even if he does play, I don't think he'll be all there. So I don't think we'll get torn up as much. Their run defense has been really bad. Their defense as a whole has been really bad. They fumble the football a bunch, but they're also really good out of the bye week. I'll take the Bears to win by 1 point.
Okay.
I'll go.
You got to go with the 25-24. I mean, that would be sick.
No. I'll go 24-23. Ravens lose on a 2-point conversion attempt because they're desperate for a win at home. They score. Dude, they score late. They score late. They try to go for 2, and they don't get it.
They would go to overtime, don't you think? At home?
No. That's my prediction.
Okay.
24-23.
I hope that your prediction comes true and then they go to overtime. And then my final score is right somehow. I don't really remember what my final score was, but oh wait, wasn't mine 24-27? So
yeah,
that would be sick. They're gonna
you have 23-27 because we'd need a touchdown to win because we need a touchdown drive.
Okay.
But it could be 23. Well, it could be 24-23 and then 27-23, just Ravens way. Anyways, without Lamar, I think we win pretty handedly. I can't imagine their offense does much of anything without him. Derrick Henry has not looked like himself, and with the way the run defense has been playing and the way we've been forcing
first game, he looked pretty good.
I mean, yeah, but the Bills run defense is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Without Lamar, I'll take the Bears 27-13. No, 27-17.
Without Lamar, it's going to be a gross game. I think it's going to be like 13-20.
Yeah, I don't think we win pretty in any of these scenarios.
I think that their defense is going to look fine. They still have like good players on their roster. I don't know why it isn't working, but hopefully we just gash them all day long.
Mm-hmm.
What time slot do we have?
It's the noon. We play the noon game for the next like 6 weeks, maybe 7,
potentially. Who do we got after the Ravens?
At home against the Giants, I think, and then we go to Cincinnati, and then we go to Minnesota, and then we're home against the Steelers.
Okay. I mean,
and then I think we go Packers, Browns, Packers.
So this is our.
If Lamar plays, Eagles. Then we go Packers, Browns, Packers.
If Lamar plays, this is our hardest game until the Packers.
Yeah, 100%. So
big moment, big spot.
You could, if you win this game, realistically, assuming you win your other
I kind of want
games,
them to
you're going to be
lose.
a favorite. Yeah, I think we should. I think if we lose, it's not the worst thing for us. But if you win this game, you could end up being
like just on like in the playoffs by week 11 kind of a thing.
You could be 8-2 if you win that Pittsburgh
game.
Exactly.
Right.
Insane. Sorry.
Pretty dope.
9-2 if you win that Pittsburgh game. That's week 11. 12. Ravens.
We got really lucky with our schedule this year.
Ravens.
That's what I'm saying.
Bengals, Giants, Vikings, Steelers. It's 5 games. If you go 5-0, which is possible,
very possible. I mean,
and not only are you like shooting for the playoffs, you're shooting for a home game, which would be insane.
That would be sick as hell.
But I think that's all, just about all we got. You got a desk item for us to send us home, and I'm get out of here.
Of course, I have a desk item.
Where do you pull this shit from?
This is the grand jury testimony. Hear it straight from the president. A historic grand jury testimony of Bill Clinton. Uncover the explicit details and watch as the president struggles with questions that have been locked away for so long. Warning: actual testimony contains adult language, may not be suitable for all viewers.
Did you like go to the library or something? Is that unwrapped? It's not even open.
Dude, it's in the fucking plastic. What are you talking about? This where the hell? Fucking look at the barcode.
Pretty good.
Hell yeah. Look at his face. Just looks disappointed in himself.
That's pretty cool. That's a great item. So you've gone back to back bangers. You got episode 20 coming up. It's a big one. You gotta
we'll bring it. We'll bring it.
Get top them all. All right. Got anything else for the people? For the folks at home?
Yes. I think here's an analogy I thought of. I want you to tell me if I'm correct. I gotta remember exactly how it goes. I kind of forgot, but basically it has something to do with poker, right? And your hole cards, right? Your hole cards are your quarterback, right?
Okay.
But the board is your offensive line. I think that's what it is. So, like, I'm trying to remember. I should have written this down in more detail. I thought this was cool when I mentioned it. But, like, if you don't have an offense, I don't know. I'll have to remember what this was. But we'll come back to this next week.
I think we'll come back to this next week.
But you guys can stew on that one at home.
Yeah. You get dealt pocket aces, but the board comes king,
deuce, five deuces.
The board comes ace, king, queen, jack 10.
You're fucked.
And so you got nothing. You're playing the board.
You're playing the board, baby. I forget exactly how it went, but yeah, something like that. Shout out to Doyle Brunson.
Yeah, shout out to Doyle. Rest in peace. Daniel Naroditsky. Crazy.
Sad, yeah.
All right. Peace.